apple pie overnight oats, carrot cake overnight oats, and vanilla and lemon protein pot. If you like the sound of omelette pizza, this video is for you. What's up guys, it's PB. Thanks for tuning into my latest video. This one isn't about plumbing. So a couple of weeks ago I did a video on meal prep and it went down so much better than I thought it would. And that was for hot meals. So now I'm going to do another one that's on cold meals and specifically for breakfast. I think being in a trade, a lot of people have to get up early and get out the door to get to work, and they don't make time to sit down or even make a proper nutritious breakfast. So these are things that you can make in advance or the night before and have cold in the morning so that they're ready to go. One of the biggest problems people will have, and I see this all the time, guys will go onto site with their lunch and about 10 half 10 first break, they'll be so hungry they'll eat their lunch, and then they've not got anything for lunch, then they go to the shop and buy something else. So these meals, one, they give you the convenience because they're ready in the morning, you just grab them and eat them. But two, they're protein based, so they keep you full, which means you'll be full for longer and you won't eat your lunch till actual lunchtime. So that's the idea behind it. I hope you enjoy it. Let me know in the comments if you tried the hot meal prep and if you're going to try the cold breakfast meal prep. And the next video after this will be cold lunches and also looking at the best place to get meal deals from. If you're out on the road, you need to get something to eat, where's the best place to go? Right guys, the first meal we're going to do, you might or you might not have heard of overnight oats, but that's what this is going to be, and all of this is going to end up in this little jar. This is apple pie overnight oats. Tastes as good as it sounds. So it's Sunday night now, I'm going to make these. There'll be 5, it's going to end up in this little jar, and there'll be 5 in my fridge Monday to Friday. And basically, if I get up, I'm in a rush, grab the jar, I can eat it out of the jar. So yeah, all of this is going to end up in that jar, and we're going to do that now. So the first step, we are going to chop up these apples into small bite-sized pieces, and then they're going to go into this bowl. Then to that, we're going to add a teaspoon of maple syrup. So probably about that much. You can get low fat, if you're on a diet, you can get low fat, not low fat, what am I saying, low sugar maple syrup, and then cinnamon. And then stir it up so it's all coated. You can put as much cinnamon in as you like, obviously to your personal preference. I like quite a lot. Then this goes in the microwave until it's softened down to like an apple sauce. This should come out of the microwave looking something like that. Obviously they're red hot now, so we can't use them until they've cooled down, but that's the sort of thing you're going for. If you don't want to do this, you can just buy a jar of apple sauce like you would put on your Sunday dinner, and feel free to add some cinnamon to that. Right, so we've got our empty jar. That's just to give you an idea of the size. Obviously the bigger the jar, the more you're going to get in it. So to this, we're going to add some milk. And I would say about 1/3 of that will be milk. Now you don't have to use milk, this is semi-skim milk. You can use coconut milk, soya milk, skim milk. So about 1/3 of the jar, and then we're going to add some oats. Try not to spill them. Okay, a little bit more. There we go. Now this is the first recipe we're doing. We're going to use this quite a lot. Protein powder. So this is whey protein. I always buy vanilla because I feel like you can make the most things with it and you can add flavours to it. So this will be baked apple, which has got cinnamon in it, and vanilla. I mean, how nice does that sound? But I do use this for everything, so get yourself a decent quality whey protein. My advice is vanilla. You can get all kinds of flavours though. So we're going to add some of this to our little jar. Obviously, if you don't want to have protein, you don't have to add protein, but this makes it fill you up a bit, also makes it taste a little bit of vanilla. So we're just going to try not to spill much. Okay, so that's in our jar, which we're not all the way to the top. And now we're going to add the lid. Make sure the lid's on tight, because what we're going to do now is give it a good shake to mix all that up. So once you've given it a shake, take the lid off and check it. Now we're almost down to halfway, so I need to add a little bit more. So I'm just going to add a few more oats to that, a little bit more protein, a little bit more milk. I want it to be sort of somewhere here towards the top. Okay, check it again. Okay, that's perfect. So we're almost at the top. So now we've got room to add the apples, and I'm also going to add a little bit more cinnamon to this. So I'm going to add my spoonful of apples to that. Probably about that much. And then I'll give it one final shake. That's it, done. So we now put that in the fridge, and then overnight the oats will soak up all the milk, the protein powder, all the flavours, and you'll have a nice thick apple pie overnight oats to eat in the morning. So making them jar by jar, if you're going to do just one, that's the easy way to do it, just mix it up in a jar. But because I make 5 at a go, I like to just make them in my mixer. So all the ingredients that I've just spoke to you about going into the jar go on a larger scale into the mixing bowl, and then we just mix that up. And when that's mixed, all I'll do is I'll portion this into jars, just a little bit less fiddly. What I would suggest is though, start off with a jar, just do one jar, see how you get on, and then once you're comfortable with that, you can make them on a bigger scale and just portion them out into your jars. Right, so that's 4 made. So that's 4 apple pie overnight oats, but I've got 1 jar spare, and I'm just going to quickly show you the other one that I do that I like is carrot cake overnight oats. And in the morning it should look something like this and taste amazing. Right, so there's a few more ingredients in the carrot cake overnight oats, but if you like carrot cake, these taste amazing. See, what? You want some carrot cake? Yeah. Good girl. Okay, so we've got a jar, some milk in that. And our milk. A little bit more. Okay, milk's in. Then some oats. Again, we're going another third. Try not to spill on. Do just tidy these up. Some vanilla protein powder. Scoops are a bit big for these jars, but right in there. Spices for this one: cinnamon again. Obviously put as little or as much in as you want. And this one is mixed spice. You don't need too much of this. Tiny drop of maple syrup. Some grated carrot. Right, it's pretty full of minute, so I'm going to give it a shake. So lid on, shake that up. Got some currants or raisins, whatever you call them. Throw a few of them in. And some walnuts. I just get a couple and sort of break them up into small pieces. give it another shake. You should have something that looks like that. Now you can see this one's slightly lower than the previous ones I made, and that's because to make this taste proper like carrot cake, obviously carrot cake has icing on top. We use Greek yogurt. So I'm just going to spoon a bit of that on the top to make a sort of icing layer. And that's it. Carrot cake overnight oats. So that goes in the fridge, and tomorrow morning that'll be lovely and thick, and honestly it does taste just like carrot cake. Right, so next up we're going to do I don't know what I'd call this, like an omelette wrap. So because I eat so much of this yogurt, I have loads of these tubs spare and I use them for mixing stuff in. So we're going to take 3 eggs, mix them up, add a bit of milk, so I'm going to have spinach and mushroom, so I'm just going to chop these up like that, and these are going to go into my frying pan. So while they're softening a little bit, I'm just going to chop some spinach up and add that into my frying pan. Now I know some people like to have cheese. You can literally put whatever you want in this. And then we've got our eggs that we did earlier. I'm just going to pop that in. So we're letting that start to cook slightly, and while it's still wet on top, we're going to get a tortilla wrap. You can use brown ones, white ones, whatever you want. Get one of them out of the bag, and then we're just going to pop it on top. Just push it down a little bit. Don't have to use your fingers, hands if you don't want to. Just make sure it's just pushed down. Forgot to mention, before you put the bread on, if you want to season it, salt and pepper, that's the time to do it. Pop your bread on, let it cook for a bit, and then when you think it's about ready, it should start to come away from the pan. So you can either try and do this like you would a pancake. I mean, I've got to go for it, haven't I, because I'm filming it, so here we go. Okay, we only got half. Sort that out. Okay, so maybe don't flip it, but you get the idea. So now we're cooking the bread on the other side, the wrap. Okay, and check it when you think it's about ready. Which I think this one is. Take it out of the pan. And then from here, so I will let this cool, but if you wanted to, you could roll it up, wrap it in foil and have it as like a breakfast burrito, so something like that. Or you can fold it over, flatten it and cut it into like triangles, pop it in your tray, and then when it's cooled, that'll go in the fridge and that's ready for you in the morning. But there's nothing, because it's so quick to make, if you wanted to eat it warm, you can do, add some ketchup on it, brown sauce, whatever you want. You can do whatever you want really with it, but that's it. So just put some brown sauce on there and fold it over. And I'm going to chop it into some pieces. There it is in the tub. Obviously you're going to let that cool down, and then the lid can go on and it can go in the fridge. If you thought the mushroom and spinach one looked a bit boring, you might want to try this. So I've got some cheese, not too much, and some tomato that's going in the pan. Now take our eggs, exactly the same as the last one, 3 eggs and a bit of milk, and pour that in. Let that start to cook. As I forgot to last time, we're just going to season that. And then some black pepper. Take another wrap. And I've got some tomato puree and some garlic puree. So I'm just going to put a bit of that on. And spread it around with a spoon. Can you see where I'm going with this? So now we take that and we lay it on top. Same as we did last time. And just push it in. I didn't go for the flip this time because I ruined the last one. But that's it turned over. So now we're cooking the bread side to make the bread crispy. I'll just show you the underside. So that's nice and crispy. So you should flip it over. And that is our, we're just going to call it an omelette pizza. So I'm going to cut that into portions now, let it cool, put it in the box, and then we'll have that on site when it's cooled down. And it should be nice and crispy and yeah, just lovely. So that's it portioned out. I'm probably going to put 3 slices in each tub. I'm working on site today with Ben, so I'll give him some to try, get his reaction. But this would keep in the fridge for me to have tomorrow as well. So that's it in the tray. Cowabunga. Right, Ben liked it, I liked it. Let's see if the grumpy builders like it. Come on, Joe.
That's lovely.
Be honest, don't just say it's nice if you don't like it.
Who's made it?
Not as bad as I thought it was, to be fair.
That's good.
Yeah,
That is good.
not as bad as you thought it was going to be, and good.
Yeah.
I'll tell that.
Right, 18-year-old that eats a lot of pizza.
Yeah, that's alright.
That's one. Right, guys, this one is going to be a breakfast burrito, which you can eat cold. So again, I've got my eggs and milk, and then I've got some chicken, tomato, avocado, refried beans, hot sauce, and then a little bit of garlic, if you like garlic. Basically, all this is going in that pan. So I've chopped my tomatoes up, they're going in. Half an avocado, just score it into squares, and then that can go in. Some refried beans, which looks like dog food. Just dot a bit of that around. Some chicken there, completely optional. It's up to you if you want to put chicken in it. You don't have to. So once you're ready, pour your eggs in. Give it a bit of a shake. Seasoning. Some black pepper. And then as little or as much hot sauce as you want. I want quite a bit. How good does that look? So once it's started to cook, get your white tortilla wrap and then you just lay it on top and push it down. When you think it's cooked on the first side, sort of moving freely, flip it over. It's a lot easier sometimes to do it with a plate. So that's it flipped. Then we're just going to cook the tortilla, brown that off. When you think it's done enough on the bottom, just slide it out. And I'm just going to roll this one up like a burrito. See, that's nice and crispy. I'm going to cut that in half. So yeah, once it's cold, goes in your tray, put it in the fridge. It's quite a big one this, so you could have one day and one the next, but it's totally up to you. Or you could take it, have one first break and one at second break. So I'm just sat in the van. I'm in my dad's van again. My van's going for a service. Seems to be tyres or service recall or something with VWs these days. Anyway, this is it. So cold breakfast burrito, chicken, avocado, tomato, refried beans, hot sauce in a wrap. Cold, beautiful. And the last breakfast in a jar, really simple one. It's basically Greek yogurt, vanilla protein powder, and then you can add a teaspoonful of whatever flavouring you want. Lemon curd is my favourite because it just tastes like vanilla lemon pudding, but you can put strawberry jam, you know, whatever jam you want in there. So in the bottom of this, we're going to put some Greek yogurt, like that. So it's just under half full, and I'm going to add the protein powder. So protein powder's in, and then we're just going to give that a really good stir. Okay, so that's our protein yogurt, and that on its own just tastes like vanilla pudding. It's really nice, really tasty. Just gonna add a spoonful of lemon curd to that. Don't take the piss and put in a dessert spoonful, just something like that, just to give it some flavour. And then stir that in. And that's it done. Bang the lid on, that goes in the fridge. And that's ready for you on a busy morning. Now, if you struggle with eating healthy food and you looked at the spinach and mushroom omelette and you thought that looks really boring, I'd struggle to keep that down, you could team this up with that. So have your omelette, and after you've ate that and you think, God, that was boring, that was hard work, have this afterwards, then you're going to look forward to this, because honestly, this is just like eating a lemon dessert, but it's good for you. So if you do struggle with healthy eating, maybe try and do something like that.